Hey guys, Minnesota here. This is my guide on Azure Vault. The route and everything I took, good from 0s to 22s, but there's also a ton of different routes you can take in here, which I can go over during the video. Reminder, I'm not the best paladin in the world, but I think I'm decent enough to help you out. In this video, I'm gonna go over the whys and whats and how I do things and what I'm thinking about as I'm doing the key to help you push your IO, or if you're just trying to get your keys done cleanly. But hopefully this guide helps. If there's anything you want to know, be sure to come by the stream. I do viewer keys, viewer raids all the time. If you're a tank, you're welcome to join as well. Figure it out, here to get it done. If you're a healer, you're also welcome. Everyone's welcome. But if you're just looking for a group to not bail on you or to help you learn how to do things, swing by and definitely get you in. Also, here's a breakdown of my main weak core package that I use. You got Divine Toll in the center up top. To the right of that, you have a tracker that counts Shield of Righteous uses. Basically, every time I have a free Word of Glory, that will light up gold and glow that I have a free Word of Glory. To the right of that, it's empty right now, but normally when I have Blessing of Dusk, Blessing of Dusk, an icon will show up right there that I have that up. To the left of my Avenger's Wrath icon, the hammer, that will show me when I have Blessing of Dawn. Underneath the health bar, you can see to the bottom right corner, whenever I hit a defensive, it shows me the uptime of the defensive, the cooldowns until my defensives come back up. That's just a little breakdown of the weak core that I use. If you're looking for this weak core, it's a combine of I can't remember the guy's name. I'll have to look it up. I feel bad, but he used to make this, and then I just edited it and added my own little flair to it. So if you're interested, just come by the stream. I'll send it to you. But let's get back into the video. All right, I also forgot to add to the consecrate icon in my weak core. If it's glowing, that means it's not down. If I have it down and I'm in it, it will show a percent of how much damage it's basically mitigating. But for here we go. Here I throw my shield at the whelp to activate the middle 3, and I pull the 3 on the right. Sorry, this video is playing, you can't really see it, but I pull everything in this room. I keep it facing away because of the frontal. My main concern here is to keep consecrate down, shield the righteous up. For some reason, I am not keeping up my Blessing of Dusk, which is bad, but my main focus is just blast in this pack right here. But you see these guys, they do frontals, so I'll call for stuns so the frontals don't go off, and they can be purged too. So you can notice they're orange, their health bars are orange. That means they can be stunned, but I'll stun them, use Hodge, any of that good jazz, and just interrupt what I can. This next pull here, I always get the tree, let everyone else get the lashers. But the main focus here is I don't want that tree to cast. You don't want the little guys to cast either, because that dog gets nasty. So I will tab and throw shields out, but I'm mainly saving my main interrupt for the big tree. But this pull here, not too bad. If you got a good group, you can pull these 2 right here that I'm clicking on right now with it. But if you want to be safe, you just pull these 2 and then the 2 on the left. Again, other routes I do, depending on whatever group I'm with, I'll do bigger pulls, smaller pulls. It's all about kind of knowing your group, what you can do and what you can't do. But normally I would pull the other lashers too, but we decided to pull these 2 on the left down the stairs. So I always pull far, because you can see that whelp, you don't want to activate it. Kind of got lucky here, actually extremely lucky, but pull them all together, consecrate. As I'm looking at this right now, I am seeing a lot of my own flaws that I've made. I'm not doing enough judgment here to build, but I'm keeping that dusk up, so I'm happy with that. My Avenger's Shield, you can see that buff above the consecrate there. That means I'm getting the extra block from that talent. Making sure I'm on that. But again, I'm going to make sure triangle is always interrupted. Have the group worry about the little ones. And I will, you can stun them. You can blinding light them. Anything you have to cast. This next pull is not bad at all. The only reason I'm not chaining this right now is because of bolstering. So, but clear here, come back up, grab the 2 whelps. These will activate. Keep them turned away. There's a cool thing paladins can do with these big tall rock guys. Sorry, just had like a hiccup. Is when they do their big circle, you can stay in it and just cast freedom. You don't have to move out. You won't take any damage. So just cast freedom on yourself and just plant your consecrate and blast. Again, you guys can see too on the nameplates to the left is the cooldown of their abilities. So I can know when their abilities are coming up, which is very nice to know as a tank. And you can see how some of them have, like, this guy has an orange nameplate, right, that just died. That means they're stunnable. So if you like my plater, you can come by the stream and anyone can have it. There's anyone can have it. But so we pull down here. I assign the first kick to always kick that mom. The first one, right? I pull. Most of the time I'm probably gonna get it, but I will have whoever get it, and they can get it every single time. But grab all 3. I leave some side mobs for funnel for the boss, depending on who I'm playing with. If funnel helps them, you might as well just try to save a pack. But just assign people to these kicks. Most classes can kick them every single time, so they just stick on one and don't have to worry about it. But we pull 3 here, and we'll get to the boss. The boss here, this boss actually hits really hard, and people don't give it credit for how hard it hits. Not sure why I'm pulling so slow, but anyways, we'll kill this tree and we'll fast forward to the boss. So again, I'm always blessed hammering. As you can see, when I'm moving, I'm building up my stacks from my dawn and my dusk. It just makes it a lot easier going in with that extra defense. But I pull these for the funnel. I always pull him out a little bit because I like to try to get as many of these trees as possible. But right before the slam, you'll see the timeline. Whenever that slam's come down, that tank buster, I stop, I plant, I make sure my shield of righteous is up. I got a free word of glory saved up, and I throw my Avenger's shield. So I'm getting all my defensives up. But here we go. Pop them all. A big note too, when this guy goes to blow up, don't be in that circle. That circle will one-shot you. And especially in the higher keys. Lower keys, you'll probably live, but get to a spot that you see. Pretty easy here. I normally save Divine Toll for this first set right here. Next set, I'll use Bubble Taunt. Definitely don't be afraid to send your cooldowns, right? As you can see, Ardent Defender's already on CD. Trees are coming out. I'm going to plant before I move. If I don't, I'll normally use a big CD, but I'm planted. I don't know why I didn't throw my Vendor Shield. I should have. Right now, the marks come out. I always say to clear early on this boss. If you see marks, clear early. Definitely throw Word of Glories when he's doing this frontal, especially on yourself. It just helps, alleviates. But again, we get out. Sometimes it can be tricky with those things blowing up if they don't blow up at the right time. But we get to the middle here. Consecrate should be able to grab them all, but I pop Bubble Taunt just to really secure it. I haven't used Eye of Tear. I really don't spend the global on it here, which I probably should. But again, I'm always move them. Whenever that tank smash is gonna come out, I quit moving, because right here, watch, I use kings. But normally, if you're not in your concentrate and shield and in the higher 20s, you just die. So, but I'm always trying to get at least the middle pack and one of the outside pack. As long as you get that middle, I think you're good. So get the middle pack and one extra one, and you're looking good. But Tyrannical Weak, this boss is definitely not fun. The next one I got Divine Toll, and that's the fight. Let's fast forward to the next spot. So again, reminder, this place has so many different routes you can do depending on the week. AFX is kind of why and what route I'll take. But the majority of the weeks, this beginning route right here up until after this pull is the same exact. I do it every single week. But for here, I pull all this. Depending on if I have a hunter or someone that can pull the 2 voids, which this one we do, so I don't pull them this week. But if I did, I'd pull the 2 voids into this. Again, use freedom here. You won't take any damage from the circle. It's really nice. Also, a reminder, you can see the nameplates now. They're orange. Those are in every dungeon. The mobs that cast or do damage that you can interrupt with a stun, but you can't like physically kick them, are orange with my plater. If they're just something you can kick, it's aqua color. But with this trash pull here, don't be afraid to use defensives, kings, all that jazz, because those frontals can hurt, especially if they're not interrupted or stunned. But like I war stomp a set of frontals, I'll hodge one, I'll call for my monk to AoE stun. Drew can come in and incapacitating a roar. You can stop those stuns a lot. If you got to purge, you can purge them, make them less deadly. But for this one, if you have someone that can pull it, or you can stealth it or invis it, you just have these guys pull to the side. If you don't, just pull them in with this pull. You know, especially if it's not bolstering, you can just chain into it, like back into it, and you'll be fine. It's not that much over %. But we go through the book. Then hunter or whoever just stealths through, and we keep going. All right, so for this pull here, it lined up perfectly. The pat's there. I grab it all together. My main focus is the keeper here, Diamond. I'll normally call it the other marks so they can kick the sleeping. But for some reason, if this binding ever goes off, people just die. Because the other stuff, like, you know, you could stun this whole group. But I just always found out if the binding goes off, people just die. So I make sure that I'm always on the keeper. Not that I don't trust anyone else, but I don't trust anybody else. You know what I mean? So I stay on the keeper. I'll tab through, throw shields out at the sleeping, or I'll blinding light, or war stomp, or hodge. But the keeper is my main priority here. And again, for this AV, there's so many different routes. So here, sometimes like in the 22 key I did, we pulled that and then we jumped down to the next ring. But for this video here, I just W. This is a W route, easy route, and it's definitely every week you could time this key with this route. But I pull all this together. I just keep the 2 frontals away at all times. Again, consecrate, it's huge. Again, freedom here, freedom the ring here is huge. It saves you so much, and you don't have to worry about people getting hit by the frontal because you're running out with the mobs. It's just it's really nice. I got hit by that. Things happen. I don't even know how I got hit by it. I don't think I didn't even see it, even watching the replay. But it's definitely a swirl in that blue. But these pulls are really easy as long as you can get hammers on these frontals and AoE stuns and blinding lights when they're doing their frontal. It definitely makes these packs very, very easy. But it's bolstering, so kind of sucks because you can't just keep chaining. But if it's not bolstering, just keep going. Once you feel safe and things are dying, just go. These frontal guys are really the only thing that do damage, and if they're getting stunned, it's not bad. But let's fast forward to the next pull down below. This next pull can sometimes be tricky. Pull what you think you can do, what your group's capable of, and don't be afraid to use some cooldowns while gathering them, because you just got so much going on and it'll just save you. I'm pretty sure I do as well. But I pulled the 2 here on the right, and then I pull to the left, and depending on how comfortable you feel, just pull as much as you can here, because it's a pretty easy pull. I pull that pack. The pat's not there yet. I do notice the pack coming, so I go back. I pop some cooldowns here. That was cheat death. I got lucky. But we get everything in, throw shields out there, consecrates down. I don't know why I haven't used my free word of glory. But as long as you just backpedal these and sidestep to the left like that, they go. And for me, I have noise cues, so it'll be like frontal, and I just sidestep. But I always just backpedal. There's the frontal. I just go to the left, and I go back for the next set. And I just back and forth the whole time. Consecrates down. Once they're in front of you and your shield of righteous is going, this pull is super, super easy. But just keep backpedaling. They go off. There's this frontal. Go to left. I normally go back if I can right away, because then I can just go right back to the safe spot. And then my group kind of knows, all right, that's safe. For here, actually, I didn't want the, like, I never really want that pat trapped back there. This hunter didn't know what I wanted, but it's not a problem. So we just pull it, and we pull it to the next pack. Again, this keeper, I always interrupt it. For the most part. Sometimes I don't. Like right now, I'm running, and no one interrupted it. See, but it's not the end of the world for us because we have freedom. But that's right, it's bolstering, so I don't even pull it in there. But without bolstering, like with that, I would hope the pat would be back if it wasn't trapped into the other one, and I would just pull them together. But we kill that pat over there, and we jump across, and I will do the play-by-play on the next pull. Just a reminder again, the orange can be stunned. Keep them away. Frontal's away from the team. Freedom the circle, and these pulls are really, really easy. All right, here we go. I actually like this dungeon a lot. I think it's really cool with all the different routes and skips you can do. Again, this is a basic W route guide. I can post my other one where I do the skips if you'd like. If you want to see it, put something in the comments. Yeah, we want to see the 22 you did, or the 23. For this pull here, again, I just make sure to kick the keeper. Again, if the keeper cast gets off, the group just dies. This is another pack that can hurt really bad, especially on fortified weeks. So right now this one's tyrannical, so they're not horrible, but just make sure your consecrate's down, and your shield of righteous is being used all the time, and you're just judging. People sit on their judgments a lot and just send them all the time, non-stop. I really don't like bolstering that you can't just chain everything together, but it is what it is. At least we're on a new week right now by the time I'm making this video. But here I'm going to clear this side packs, and basically the whole room here gets cleared in this W route. Because after this room, there's no more trash, which is kind of a cool little skip that we'll do. You could pull this big guy into more trash. He just hits really, really hard. But you can range this. Like right there, I could just run out and range that. But we're Paladin, so I'll just use a defensive. Again, reminder, use Ardent Defender as much as possible. You'll see me sit on it a lot. More than I probably should. But I always make sure it's up for like the big mobs. Like this mob hurts, so I know I'm gonna need it. But yeah, we'll clear this whole room out, and then we'll pull the boss, and I'll go through from there. Made it this far. Just a reminder, I stream every day. Anyone's welcome. Come hang out. We do viewer keys, viewer raids. We'll help anyone push their IO up. We don't care about your skill level, your item level. Just want to help and have fun, have a good time. But here we go. Pulling the boss here. You don't have to worry about that ad. You can pull it if you don't feel safe. That last ad in the back, you can pull it with the side pack. But here I make sure to this ad gets interrupted. I plant and keep him face away because he does a frontal. So here comes the frontal. Boom. Once the frontal goes, I steed out, drop my consecrate, and rinse repeat. This boss for us, he has one ability that hits hard. The rest isn't too bad. Here, depending on the healer, I'll just use my wogs to help heal the group. I'll spell warding someone. I'll sack someone. I'm doing whatever I can to just help the healer out here, because Paladin single target damage is not the best. But ad dies, the stuff on the ground spawns, you just move, and there you go. I'm just wogging other people, helping the healer. But after this, it's just the rinse repeat. Make sure your consecrate's down. Make sure your Shield of Righteous is up for the slash. Use defensive if you have to. And I always try to have a Word of Glory proc after that slash. But sometimes you don't need it. But I'll use it right there. See, I still didn't need it, but I just use it because you're gonna get one again in 3 Shield of Righteous, which takes no time to get. So don't be sitting on your Word of Glories as long as I do. But there it is. Use the Word of Glory, move to the next one, Shield of Righteous up, consecrate. That's the fight. And now I will show you our nice little skip for this. So as you can see, trash is done. And this next skip is pretty cool. It's basically the same skip you would be doing if you didn't W on the first ring. But since we just W'd and killed everything, we're done with trash now. We don't have to do the frogs. Tyrannical weeks, I do the frogs, and I skip the last 2 big guys, which I can make a video showing that. But all in all, this route is pretty easy for anything up to at least a 21, as you can see. Here I fail. Normally I take the book and I jump. Just take the book jump. Take the book back, and then you jump down in the center ring onto this ring where the boss is, and you won't die. But everyone else took the book and they jumped straight down, which the ring above you, above this boss right here, is where that book will take you back. So you basically just bop yourself or bubble, and you'll just fall down, and you'll land basically right where I am right now. But this fight here, this fight's very, very easy for us. Again, consecrate. I'll spell warding whoever gets chosen for that pulsing damage, or I'll sack them. But other than that, this fight is super, super easy for us. I try to just leave a spot for the melee, and if they pick the back, they stay in the back. If they pick the front, I'll go to the back. It doesn't matter. But we're just going. I try to save a Word of Glory for every time, a free one at least, for when the ice drops. If it's not free, I'll still just wog. And don't be afraid to just wog, even if it's not free. Sometimes you just have to do that over Shield of Righteous. It depends on where the damage is coming from. If it's a melee, obviously you want your shield up, but sometimes you can just heal it and it's all good. But we'll fast forward to the last boss. I think people have it in their head that this place is harder than it is. It's just really, it's a tight timer. For tanks, it's really not too bad. It's just dodging frontals or stunning frontals, in my opinion. But this boss here, very simple. Again, consecrate, Shield of Righteous, wog. This one could be a pain. So we pull it here. I always pull it to the side. I freed him so I'm not slowed. When he does this strike here, I always make sure to plant, consecrate, Shield of Righteous, free wogs up, and I do it immediately. And hopefully your healer's dispelling that debuff. If not, tell him to dispel it, or you're just gonna die and you're wasting your time. But I try to get it next to the wall here as close as possible. Here comes the strike again. I make sure everything's down, consecrate, wog, Avenger Shield for extra block, especially on Tyrannical. You're gonna want all those things up when that strike hits you, because it will hurt in higher keys. But again, don't be afraid to just wog yourself at times. Use that free wog. Just always make sure you have your consecrate down though. There's the brittle. I'll target normally the one on the boss, because it's the one that has a shield on it. And it just helps. But again, this boss right here is just mainly for tanks, making sure you have defenses for these strikes and knowing when they're going to come up. Because this boss, every 25%, that's when he does the brittle, and all the ads or all the little fragments come out that you got to kill. But here, don't be afraid to run through the boss, especially if the orbs are not in a good spot for your team. Here comes the pushback. You can, I never try to say freedom for myself too, but sometimes I'll just send it on DPS if I see they have a lot of stacks and these fragments are out and they're not dying. Like, I just freedom someone. But there's a strike. As you can see, it's still on me right now for the whole thing. I'll just use wogs until it's gone. And we're going and move. I got a big defensive up. Well, it's not huge. The Evoker just has Zephyr up, but defensive plant. There's a strike. The riches is up. I just use my holy power as a wog. Make sure my consecrate's down. A lot of problems that tanks will do here as paladins is they'll move too far, and they won't be in their consecrate or have their shield of righteous up when that tank smash comes. Right here, the strike, boom. I don't know why I'm not hitting my free wog. I just must have felt safe at the time. But again, this fight just comes down to for us making sure that we have a defensive up for that tank smash, or at least our defensive running. Here it comes again. That one I had, you saw it did no damage. I had bubble taunt up, so, and I killed my teammate because I went too far from bubble taunt. So bubble taunt is a pulsing thing, so it pulses taunts, and if you're too far away, it's not going to taunt it. But as if you play paladin, you probably know bubble taunt kills your team a lot. Even if I'm right here, if I pop it, sometimes my buddy will die. So normally I try to tell him, hey, I'm gonna bubble taunt. But there, I just did it and he died. He paid the price, not me. But that is my guide. Any questions, come by the stream. If you want any help, we will help you. My plater, my weak auras. Just come by the stream and ask. Made it this far. The keyword is, I have no clue. I'll see you next time.